Incoming alert.
All Amanda Xander wanted to be when she grew up was a cop, to uphold the law and provide a brand of order and justice. And as part of the DC Police Department, she was a skilled and dedicated officer, specifically against the drug trade. But a person as talented as Xander was rarely suited for desk duty and paperwork. Donuts might be a nice perk, but she loved the feeling of having a bad guy in her sights a bit too much. I mean, she tried constructive ways like competitive shooting to take the edge off, to try and avoid getting another sanction for excessive use of force. But that itch for action was always there. So much so that her CO actually suggested that she should sign up with the National Guard Reserves, in hopes that the intensive training would stabilize Amanda enough to calm her down. Unfortunately, the dollar flu would hit about a month later, and Xander was called up to active duty and assigned to work in the Joint Task Force. As luck would have it, she'd be placed into Antoine Ridgway's unit, the man who would eventually become the founder and general of the True Sons. His ideology was especially magnetic for Xander and someone of her mental makeup. I'm thinking of you, Daniels. Xander is unapologetically angry, and she's distrustful of most, as we noticed in her conversations with Schaeffer, who she actually threatened to kill the next time she saw him.
If I ever see you again, I will kill you, Schaeffer. That's a promise.
But while she showed a clear disliking of Schaeffer, she had a deep loathing for Faye Lau. When Schaeffer threw around the idea and suggested that Xander should meet up with Faye to talk, her hatred for Faye was apparent and palpable. Mostly because she still blames Faye for losing a part of her unit of fellow reservists when they were called to manage the quarantine.
I understand why you're angry, but we need to put a pin in this and focus on our common enemy.
Agent Lau, I hate that chick. I don't trust her. She's been on my list for a while. Because that got half of my squad killed in New York when the reservists were called up to maintain the quarantine.
Not Lau. She's not the enemy.
She turned you into her boy. You should hate her.
She has her reasons. This channel's not secure, but you should really talk to Lau.
That. I'm not letting her get into my head.
As tough an exterior as Xander might display, she isn't without her soft spot. Cue in Bridget Viper Douglas, one of our past targets and seemingly one of Xander's former lovers. When it came to Bridget, Xander would be willing to go against her initial instincts and her words and be willing to meet up with Faye, as Viper requested. She'd have to put her jealousy aside, of course, because comms indicate that Faye and Viper were a bit of an item.
What do you want, Douglas?
Just a friendly chat.
This about your girlfriend?
Who?
Lau?
Is that what this is about? You hate Lau because you think we're together?
No.
Well, good. I'd hate to think you were still pissed about how things ended with us.
Doesn't help that you're sleeping with a traitor.
Okay. She's not a traitor. She's a good woman. She's been through a lot. We all have. Just give her a chance. Meet with her, and you'll see we can help each other. There's something bigger happening.
You two getting married?
Would it matter if we were?
Damn, okay, Douglas. You need me to go rescue your pappy from the White House. You gonna finally reconcile so he can walk you down the aisle? Is that the secret mission?
Xander, focus. We need to work together if we're going to stop what's coming.
Okay, fine. Set it up. I'll meet with Lau.
Besides the mention of Faye, the conversation did make a brief and vague mention of Charles Douglas from the White House shooting range, where he's been posted up for a while. Charles is Bridget's father and co-founder of the military equipment company Douglas & Harding, one of the brand sets we have available for use. I'm not certain what the play is when it comes to Charles, but it's clear we may be a little bit behind on our intel. For instance, the heck is up with all these drones? Anyway, back to Xander. Regardless of her anger issues, it's clear she was important to the True Sons, verifiable by General Anderson's call and reaction to Natalia Sokolova when he believed Xander was being poached from his True Sons faction.
Natalia, I thought we had an understanding.
I understand you no longer wish to work with us, and our fragile truce is broken. I do wish you would reconsider my kind offer.
And I wish you would reconsider trying to recruit my men to whatever clandestine bullshit you and Lau are cooking up.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Oh, don't play dumb. It's not convincing on you.
If Lau is reaching out to your True Sons, it is not on my orders. That's on her own volition. Or maybe it's your True Sons that are reaching out to her.
My troops are loyal.
Who did she allegedly reach out to?
Major Xander.
Oh. Well, this is probably a personal matter more than professional.
Have you seen the state of the world? No one has time for personal matters.
Well, women like Amanda find a way to make the time. You don't have to worry. No one is trying to take her from you. She frankly would not be a good fit for the Black Tusk, even if she wasn't trying to cast herself as the victim of a love triangle.
Just stay away from my troops.
Certainly, General. Have a good day. And don't hesitate to call again if you need anything. Good luck managing Xander. Douglas says she can be a bit unstable.
Here in DC, Xander set her sights on the Judiciary Square district, where her unit took over the Cinder Block and Hotel Infirmary control points. Didn't take long before she started a rampage of targeting and torturing civilians, a habit her crew easily adopted. We believe that Xander was doing this to try and find out the source of some serious technical issues. I'm doubtful, as was Captain Lewis, that these tactics reaped any real rewards.
Status report. We are getting ready to take the network, but there have been some unexpected roadblocks. Increased instability in the power grid, surges and blackouts, some data anomalies, insecure comms, and increased brute force attacks. Some of my men are reporting that they have seen some odd lights and feel like they are being watched. I thought the stress was getting to them, but the reports are coming from all times of day and from folks I trust. Major Xander is looking into it, but I don't know that our methods will yield the results we're looking for.
With that said, though, these technical issues do seem a bit familiar. Anyway, we ended up tracking down and putting down Mather's marauders and their leader Sergeant Cotton, and that led us to find out that Xander had taken this interrogation business to District Union Arena, as she propped the place up to be a holding pen for hostages that she figured she'd put the screws to a little more personally. Unfortunately for some of those captured, it appears Xander wasn't above using a little of the lethal toxin DC-62 as part of her torture tool bag. Xander may have been using those prisoners as a way to get us in there, but whether it was a trap or not, it was time to take a trip to the mall. I haven't really seen this place since the White/Black Tusks took their legendary stance here, but anyway, here she was. And just as importantly, there the hostages were. You know, Kelso kind of warned us that Xander might use trash talk to get us off our game.
Hey, Agent! Thanks for taking out your girl Faye for me. I hate that traitorous.
But you didn't really give her a chance to talk much, did you? Getting Xander out the way opened the door to take on Captain Lewis directly. And while there's much to discuss and unpack on that front, the truth is, I won't do the current situation justice here now. At least not without digesting it a bit first. I'll say this, that all this complicated mess between Schaeffer, Faye, McManus, Sokolova has brought a bit of resurgence of me thinking back to my time in New York. Because as harsh as it may have been, it was a little simpler then. At the base of operations, with old friendships, back when Faye was alive, and where we knew where her alliances laid. Good job taking care of Xander. I've left the database file just in case you want to refresh yourself back on the start of this op. But thanks again, agents. End entry.